Well, welcome to a match preview of DC Delhi Capitals against the Lucknow Super Giants. First time we're seeing both of these sides in this year's IPL. So firstly, they're going to play at Visakhapatnam, which is one of DC's, Delhi's home grounds. It's on the coast. It's quite a small ground. It's a lovely ground, very much an amphitheatre. But being on the coast, there is often a lot of rain around, so don't be surprised if every now and again you might get a little downpour. But beautiful ground, and I expect it to be very high scoring. So looking at that, I look at the toss. It's a really tough ground to defend. So I think both sides looking that win the toss will want to bowl first. And I think that suits, it suits DC, but it more suits LSG. And I'll talk about that in a moment in terms of the fact that they're very batting heavy. Bowling wise, they're struggling at this stage. So firstly, I'll just go through DC's lineup because I think they've got a very strong lineup now and a very well balanced one, and probably only a couple of decisions to make. So Jake Fraser-McGurk, he got a quick 100 in the latest warm-up game, even if it was an internal practice match, but he's obviously found some confidence in form again, which was critical for DC because he was such an impressive player for them last year. Faf du Plessis as vice-captain has come in, and I think he will open the batting with Jake Fraser-McGurk. They'll make a decision between Abhishek Patel, the left-hander, obviously a keeper, or the informed Karan Nair. And I think that's the only batting decision they need to make. Obviously, if Parel's not there, then KL Rahul can keep. I think KL Rahul will bat at 4. If these two put on plenty, he's got the option of sliding up. But I think that the reason why I really like KL at number 4 is because it's a tough role. It's a role where you need experience. It's a role where you need somebody who has the ability to read the game and can go up and down the gears. So I think it's often batting at the top's pretty straightforward. You just go out, you play a certain way, and the game takes its shape. At number 4, you've got to actually read the game, and it's a very difficult role to master. But I think KL Rahul has the skills for it, and I just like the look of that lineup. There's so many different points of strength. You're using Faf in the position where he's been so effective. Jake Fraser-McGurk has to only bat in one place, which is at the top. KL could bat at 3 for sure, but I mean, Abhishek Patel brings a left-hander, and if they lose an early wicket, he can continue to attack in the power play. And then obviously through the middle, they've got a huge amount of experience of saying KL and Axar, a left-hander. I mean, Axar could well slide down once again if they're doing well, but if the ball starts to turn, and the likes of M. Sadat as a left-arm spinner is getting the ball to hold at Visakhapatnam, the ability for a left-hander to come out and hit with the turn is very important to have as an option. Tristan Stubbs, fantastic form. I sort of expect him, he could well bowl some off-spin as well. If we look at the amount of left-handers in this lineup, Pooran, Pant and Miller right through the middle. So don't be surprised if you see an over or two of Tristan Stubbs from nowhere just through the middle as a matchup. Ashutosh Sharma, an absolutely amazing finisher last year for the Punjab Kings. He is a 6-hitter, and obviously being a domestic talent just gives you another string to your bow from DC's perspective. They could at that stage, like somebody like Rizvi, could well come in and slot up here if DC were in trouble. Otherwise, I think they'll hold out on the impact rule and maybe get to introduce the likes of Mohit Sharma at the back end and give them an extra seamer. So if you got Stark with a new ball, probably Natarajan or Mukesh will take it with him. So you've got whether you want the ball to shape away or you want two guys bringing the ball in to both these right-handers at the top end. That'll be a decision they need to make. Mukesh, Natarajan and Mohit Sharma are obviously experts to the death. And if Stark's on song and he's got that round the wicket coming in and angling it away, then they've got 4 very, very good death bowling options. So DC looking well covered, especially with the spin of Axar and Kuldeep and potentially Tristan Stubbs. So very well balanced side from DC. I think they will go with that. LSG is a little bit more uncertain. And obviously we've talked about the injuries, the bowlers that are at the NCA. They've had Mohsin Khan, who's been ruled out completely. Shardul Thakur has come in as a replacement for him. It'll be interesting to see. Mayank Yadav will not be back, we know that. But whether Avesh or Akashdeep are able to make a swift return to the bowling crease, we will find out in only a few hours. So that will be interesting. But LSG, I think the only way they can go really is to play 4 overseas batters. And if you look at it, you've got Mitchell Marsh, Markram, who used to open the batting in T20 cricket. I think they will use him in that spot. Otherwise, he's a middle order player and they don't really have anyone to open. Then you've got Pooran at 3, Pant 4, Badoni and Miller. So you've got an outstanding top 6, 3 left-handers, 3 right-handers, plenty of power, plenty of skill. The only problem is that obviously all 4 asterisks are at the top 6 of LSG's lineup. You add to that a bit of power from Abdul Samad, and then a bowling attack here that you can maybe get a few overs out of Markram. Mitchell Marsh can't bowl, so he's playing the IPL purely as a batsman, so that mucks up the balance a bit. Badoni can bowl a little bit of off spin, but generally you've got, and Samad a tiny bit of leg spin, but really you've got 5 bowlers. And they've got to work out whether they go with the likes of Hangargaka, obviously a promising player from the under-19s Indian side a few years ago. Bishnoi obviously will lead that attack spin bowling wise. They need to decide whether they go with the left arm spin of Sadat. I think he will play ahead of Shahbaz because batting's not such an issue. They need their best spin bowler in there. M. Sadat, I think, will be the one they will choose. Shahbaz is very much an all-rounder, but they don't really need that, especially with the likes of Shardul Thakur there at 8. Hangargaka, Prince Yadav, Akash Singh are 2 others in their squad who have a real good chance of playing. They would have expected that they were very much backup players, but they might have to play a role for LSG in the first half of the season before they get the likes of Avesh Khan and Akash Deep back. So I look at that, LSG strong, batting looks very strong, but they need to decide if they end up batting first, that's the challenge, how hard do they go? Because they know that from a bowling point of view, they're going to struggle to defend a score. So with LSG, you will get the fact that if they bat first, they will go really hard. They will try and get a large score. If they do, they're in with a chance. If they don't, I'm not sure that bowling lineup can defend anything against DC under 200. The other problem, as I said, if DC end up batting first, LSG are in a good position because they can then structure their chase. And they've got plenty of experience and skill in that top 6 and power with Abdul Samad. So LSG will be really wanting to chase. If they don't, I think they're in all sorts of trouble, and DC are a little bit too strong in this one.